So the question is, if you're frugal, are you a cheap ass or are you smart? I mean, the word frugal sounds so, right? But think about this. One of the world's most richest people, Warren Buffett, still lives in the same house that he bought in 1958. It's a little over 6,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and we know this guy could buy anything that he wants. Why don't more people take that approach when it comes to money? If you think about it, most people that were in his shoes would be buying a mega mansion somewhere on the beach, probably in Malibu, where they all live. So stick around to the end of the video because I'm gonna show you how to download my free ebook that will ask you questions about being frugal and if you fit in these buckets, and it's going to challenge you. You know, it's gonna ask you questions on things that what can you do differently in order to take steps towards financial freedom. So stick around. And when I was growing up as a kid, we never had discussions about money, so I really didn't understand the value of the dollar. I mean, all of my friends growing up thought that my family was rich, but we really weren't. I mean, we had a couple nice cars in the driveway. I think my dad had a Mercedes at the time, my mom had a BMW, but we were broke. I mean, instead of us buying fancy stuff, we should have been probably investing that money, or that my parents should have been investing that money in things like properties, or maybe spending more money on stocks than these fancy cars that really only get you from point A to point B, but they look really nice. So again, why do we do it? And I believe when you don't come from generational wealth, sometimes you might feel once you have a little bit of money, you have to prove that you made it, that I'm here, we arrived. And it's something that I think clouds our judgment when it comes to what you really need to be focused on, right? You don't need to be focused on stuff, things. You know, like Robert Kiyosaki said, assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take it away. And when you're only consuming liabilities, then that's a recipe for disaster. So I think frugal people, what they might do is they might do their research on products and services before they buy it, which I think is kind of smart. But if you're a cheap ass, maybe you always look for the cheapest price and you can't get past the price tag. But really, it all is relative, and that could be smart too, depending on your situation. So we don't want to knock either one. But I must confess something. I've been the cheap ass before. I mean, the dollar store is so tempting. I mean, you can get a couple rolls of paper towels for 99 cents. So am I gonna spend $10 on a roll of paper towels or $1? I mean, hey, that is a no-brainer. So I think there is times where being a cheap ass is actually smart. And growing up, one thing I wish I would have learned how to do was how to save money. You know, I guess there's an art to saving money because it's so hard for so many of us. But that's one thing that they don't teach in school is financial literacy. And financial literacy, I think, it's so important. And so there's things that you can do to make it easier on yourself. One, you can just take a certain percentage of your paycheck each month and have it automatically go into a savings. You can also set that up with your employer. The other thing that is key to, you know, growing your savings is, you know, contributing to the 401k plan. If your employer offers that, make sure that you at least contribute up to the match. So if it's the 6%, you want at least 6% coming out of your check. Now you're getting almost 12% every month. That is growing over time. Another area you can save on is eating out or food delivery. I mean, food delivery is so expensive. I mean, and I feel like after COVID, people were doing it so much. I know I was guilty of it. I mean, sometimes we would order, you know, Grubhub or some food delivery, you know, 3 or 4 times a week. And it's like, why were we doing that? It was not smart at all. And then you don't go to the restaurant that often. So that is one area people can save, you can save. And it's going to actually help you get further or closer to whatever your goals are, whether that be your first house or that investment property. You know, every dollar that you save is just inching you closer to whatever you want. that's actually going to put money in your pocket, not take it out of your pocket. Another way you can save is by having a roommate. Why live on your own if you can just share a house with someone and make sure that you vet them, make sure it's someone that you can live with, because not everybody is going to make the best roommate. I mean, heck, I get it. I'd probably rather live on my own and spend the money than live with some, crazy person. So you got to make sure that you know who you're going to be moving in with if you decide to do that. But that is one area that you can save money, and it works. It really does. Another way you can save money is by taking public transportation. When I was in London a couple of months ago, I really didn't realize how many people actually took the train. I mean, I heard about it, but to be there and see it, I was so shocked. I'm like, man, these people are saving so much money not having a car, or if they have a car, they're saving money on gas. But that is an area that you could save big time. And it all depends on the city that you're living in, right? There's some towns or cities that don't have great public transportation, but maybe you can ride a bike. Maybe you can, commute with someone. There's different ways that you could do it to make it work. Okay, clothes. Let's talk about clothes. And to all you sneakerheads out there, I mean, do you really need to buy $1,000 pair of sneakers? I mean, just to wear those at a club and then have someone step on your shoes? I mean, to me, it just seems kind of ridiculous. That's not going to help you save money for something that you should really own, again, like a stock or a piece of real estate. You want your assets to pay for all of your luxury items or toys. So if you buy a property and it appreciates, you're building your net worth. But what that property is also doing, you're earning passive income. And if you buy enough of them, you could be living for free. Your whole lifestyle could be paid for. And that's the smart way to do it. Have your assets cover all of your expenses, and then the money that you make from your job, that's just icing on the cake. But you have to get there first. You have to make that first investment in order to be able to build on that. So, and that's what I've done. I have enough assets that it basically covers our expenses. And I also own a business that brings in residual income. So it works. I'm telling you, it really does work. And it's the blueprint that I followed for a long time, but it took me a while to get there, because in the beginning I was like everybody else. Consume, buy. The money was just, I had to spend it as soon as it was in my pocket. If you consider yourself frugal, or if you have any tips or different strategies that you use in order to save money, please leave them in the comments below. We're all here to work together as one big family to help each other grow and prosper. So don't forget to download my book, Your Journey to Financial Freedom, and fill it out. It's a short read, but I think it will get you thinking and it might help you. So thanks again.